Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Michelle Flawless. So today we're going to be talking about when my parents disowned me. So, bloody hell, it's years now, but they basically disowned me through drug use. Yeah, I used to get really high to the point where I couldn't be able to control that high. And I went to hospital quite a few times. I ended up in resus at one point. I used to inject methamphetamine into my veins. It was like that side I used to go, and it was MCAT. That was my big thrill, let's just say. That was my big rush. And let's just say that rush almost killed me. Yeah. It was the proper strong stuff. It was fucking hell. It used to knock your socks off. It was just that strong. Yeah, but touch wood, still here to this day. I think what made me give up drugs is when my heart was racing so fast in resus. Years ago now, my heart was 175 beats per minute in resus for 7.5 hours. Yeah. I wasn't in Birmingham because, let's just say, Birmingham wasn't a very good hospital back in the day, and a lot of staff got sacked for negligence towards me. Long story, not going into it. And yeah, I got treated on the outskirts of Birmingham at this different hospital that was lovely to me. But yeah, I almost did lose my life. And I still have flashbacks because I say to myself, if it would have been one more pin of MCAT, I wouldn't be here. I just remember, guys, being in so much pain. My heart was racing so fast. And nobody should have to go through that amount of pain and grief that I went through. Hence why now and again I have really bad panic attacks now and again. I feel absolutely fucking horrible from it. Do you know what I mean? I really do. Yeah, I feel awful, to be fair. I do feel awful. How it makes you feel as well afterwards. I had something called severe drug-induced psychosis, and that lasted a good long time. That lasted a very long time. That lasted a good 9 to 10 years, and I still have it to this day. Yeah, I have very bad panic attacks. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. But what can you do? Do you know what I mean? What can you fucking do? What can you do, bruv? Well, what I have done since is I've stopped taking drugs. That's a good start. A lot of paramedics said to me as well, up Scotland and other different places that I've been in my life, they're like, well done, you done well, you've done so well. And some of the paramedics as well have even come up to me and give me a massive hug because they're like, that's a big thing for you to do. They're like, a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics can't do that. And let me just say, stepping back to reality, guys, after all these years, after drug taking, is really difficult. It's really hard, I'm not going to lie. Do you know what I mean? It is really hard. I would not wish somebody to take drugs ever because it just messes the body up. Okay, you're alright when you're having sex and it's all good and you're going to gay chems parties and stuff, but it's dangerous. And there's only so much your heart can deal with and tolerate until it gives way. I'll give you an example. So I went to this organised gay chems meet years ago now in Birmingham, and it was during a COVID lockdown. The whole house was divided into sections, and there was black bags up the window, so the police obviously couldn't see, and there was parties in different rooms. The rooms were themed, this gay guy done an absolutely amazing job of transforming the whole of his living room into like a beach scene. It was amazing. Honestly, it was something that you would only see in like theatre, or do you know what I mean? And it was just, it was amazing, honestly. But yeah, I went to quite a few parties in lockdown, not gonna lie, because I just thought it was a load of bollocks, but until it obviously really did hit me. I nearly died from COVID as well. So COVID did get me back. Um, so yeah, I tell you what happened. So somebody in the gay chems party actually caught COVID that night, and then what happened was, after people were having sex, there was just something in the air. You could just tell something wasn't right. There was this gay guy that came in the room, and he was like this, and he put this mask on, and he had strongly advised everybody else to. This is when we were all partying away in the lockdown. And yeah, these two guys, I remember, they were high, but he looked at his boyfriend, because they were a couple, and they were both high together. And they were both like, they like both put their hands on like their chest and were like, babe, I feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I'm going to die, babe. And his boyfriend was trying to calm him down. And his boyfriend was like, babe, you're not going to die. You'll be fine. But unfortunately, what happened? He died. He died. Yeah, he died. And I'll tell you why. He went into a panic mode. And that's the worst thing that you could do if you were high. So he had loads of drugs in his system. He had G, which is, oh my god, it's a fucking little cat out there. Oh. So he had G, he had Tina. Yeah, not a good combination of things, not gonna lie. And it's something, guys, that you don't really ever want to have or take, because once it's in your system, you're fucked. Excuse me, pardon me French. You are fucked. Honestly, as soon as you have that MCAT in your system, there's no going back. And that's exactly what happened to him, unfortunately. The MCAT was in his system, and he panicked. It was like fitting. Yeah. And it was hard to see, because when I first walked in, when everybody else was having sex in different positions, he was sat there with his boyfriend on the sofa, chilled out, all cuddled up, snogging him, cuddling him, a bit like couples should do. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, their lives changed within an instant like that, all because this guy was going around with this big suitcase full of drugs that was pre-prepared, basically. Now, that's another thing, guys, as well. If you go to gay chem sex sessions in Birmingham, in London, wherever you go, just be careful, because there will be needles, and there will be things that are out on the side already prepped for you to take. Now, I went with one of my best mates ages ago, Sean, and we went to this gay chems party on the outskirts of Birmingham. And let's just say I got slammed. I was fine with it because I didn't have a heart condition then, and I was able to deal with the high that they were giving me, because when you take drugs, your body builds up an intolerance to it. But I decided to take some drugs, and yeah, put it this way, it was okay. Your body builds an intolerance up to it. I had some MCAT. They injected it in my veins. I've got veins now, by the way. Look at all of them lovely veins. Look at that. 12 and a half years of being clean. There was nothing there before. There was nothing there. I can literally do it like that, and I can, look at all the veins, guys. I'll show you. Look how many veins I got. Very proud of myself. I never had any veins years ago. I never had any veins. So that's another thing. My veins all went. My veins just were sunken. There was no veins there at all. But yeah, this couple unfortunately ended up dying. The ambulance was called. What happened was his body was having a reaction to the actual drugs that he'd taken. And here, all of his chest, all there, just went all entirely, it was like a rash. So here, his chest, after he was taking these drugs, no, I haven't got a rash. I did have before a few weeks ago when I decided to use soap instead of laundry detergent. Yeah, never again. But I ran out of laundry detergent, which is what you expect. But yeah, I had to chuck my clothes out. But yeah, so here he had like this rash all round underneath his neck. And yeah, he ended up dying. We called 999 several times. They took ages to respond, because they do in Birmingham, unfortunately. It's a big city. And by the time the ambulance got there, and his boyfriend, I tell you what happened, and this is going to sound upsetting, I do apologise. So what happened was, his boyfriend got high. This is the gay couple I'm on about, that was sat on the sofa loving and kissing before they started taking what they took. But yeah, this guy came around with like this suitcase of like drugs. I took some other people took some. I actually got rushed to hospital that evening. I'll tell you why in a second. But I actually think that this bisexual dude, was deliberately overdosing gay men at the gay chems parties and killing them. And I know that sounds horrible, but it happens. And there's nothing that can be done about it. It just happens. That's the risk you take when you do drugs and you delve into the devil, and you know, being gay is the sinful world, isn't it? It is. But when you deal with that type of life and that's the way you want to be, that's fine, I suppose. But there are consequences for it, and God will get you back. And unfortunately, God got this gay bloke back. The overdose kicked in. He could not control his panic attacks. And I just remember him screaming the place down. And it still haunts me to this day. His screams still haunt me in my head. That's why I don't take drugs anymore. Well, that's a lie. I sniff speed. I have once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, though. That's once in a blue moon. Do you know what I mean? So I have a little bit of speed now and again. But I have to be careful because I have my heart condition. Drugs will give you atrial fibrillation, POTS, or an angina. I literally suffer from all of it. Atrial fibrillation, POTS, angina. I have that really badly. So yeah. I might eventually even still have to go on to this like medication, or where I get admitted into hospital eventually and they inject me with stuff to like excuse me, slow my heart down or something to fucking iron out these palpitations. Because drugs, that is what it does to you. Drugs just fucks you up. It makes you high for the moment. Okay, you feel fucking amazing in that moment. But you're never going to get your boyfriend back. Why did he do that? He was 38 years old. His boyfriend was 28. And he just died. He died, sorry, I was trying to get upset now. He died in his arms in the bathroom. From the panic attack. I mean, I would never want anyone to go through that. Anyone, I mean that. I remember when I was high and I almost died from the panic attack, because the panic attack almost killed me. But luckily, there was 2 people in the room, 2 other gay men. I tell you what they did. They saved my life. They got loads of water. They made me drink loads of water. They got me outside in the cold, with fresh air. You know what I mean? So I was, you know, my nails were going blue. When I used to sniff MCAT for the first time, my big ears, the tops of them went blue. Yeah. And that's not funny. That's so dangerous. That's so fucked up. The top of my ears used to be blue. My nails used to be side-nosed. Do you know what I mean? That's why you don't fuck around with drugs. That's why they're illegal. They're illegal for a reason. Because they interfere with the heart. They interfere with the nervous system. And eventually it will catch up with you and it will kill you. That's why you never inject as well. Isn't that right, Jonathan Palmer, my darling? Hi, Jonathan. I'll have to come and see you one day if you still live near the football stadium in Birmingham. Found out where you live, darling. I used to hang about with this lovely guy called Jonathan Palmer. That was a bit of a mischievous person, but ain't all gay men. But yeah, I hung about with him for a while. Oh, for fuck's sake, fucking bloody car. Fuck up, cunt! Don't want to hear you. Go down a different road. Try to do a video. Fucking I'll give you a fucking big exhaust. Bastard. Sorry about that. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Jonathan Palmer. We used to get high together. And he injected me a few times with methamphetamine. And I tell you what, guys, when I was high, right, this is what I used to look like. I was like, yeah, not a pretty sight at all. I used to turn into a fucking zombie. I was scary when I was like, I wasn't dangerous, but I was just scary. You know what I mean? My face used to go so pale. When I was in Birmingham years ago, there was an undercover police officer that went to have sex with me, then stopped. Yeah. Didn't prostitute myself. They just put an undercover one on Grindr because they do that sometimes, don't they? But I'll get Grindr back. Don't worry, I'm going to get myself unblocked. Grindr, stop cock blocking me, you tosspots. Yeah. Can't clearly have a laugh in the gay world because you get blocked on Grindr. Yeah, I know. But it's fine. When I get my new devices in a few weeks' time, I'll be getting Grindr back again. So fuck you, Grindr. You can swivel. But yeah. Where was I? Yeah, used to hang about with Jonathan Palmer quite a lot. And yeah, this undercover policeman, he didn't arrest me. He actually bought some drugs with him. Yeah, the policeman actually bought drugs. He was like an undercover policeman that bought drugs to see if I would take it. And I went to go and take it, but then he stopped me and he was like, Matthew, I am an undercover police officer. I'm here for your safety. I am not going to give you these drugs. Yeah. And he was like, we've done this to test you, to see if you were going to commit an offence. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, bruv? Like, are you fucking stupid or something? So I didn't commit the offence. I saw there was drugs there, and I could tell in the air there was something not right. I could tell that this police officer was a police officer, but he was undercover, so I was not doing anything. The sex was fine. I was going to have sex with him, but like, yeah, he was fit as fuck. But yeah, the drug side didn't happen. He stopped me and he was like, Matthew, I'm really concerned about you. He was like, you need to stop taking drugs. He was like, you're going to end up dead one day. Look at your face. Go and look at your face in the mirror. And this is what the policeman told me. I wasn't in makeup then, but my face went pale. Yeah. That's how high I used to get. My face was pale. And a bit like this particular person at this moment in time on TikTok, I'm not going to say his name for legal reasons, but he's going to end up dead soon. Because he just keeps drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. And the state I saw him in last night, oh my God, that was concerning. But all I can say nicely is sometimes you can't help people. You want to help people. A bit like myself. But you can only help people if they want to be helped. Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to take loads of drugs and didn't want to be helped. But then as soon as I reached out for the help, I got that help. And that help saved my life. Like my doctor said to me ages ago when I used to take drugs, he was like, Matthew, it's like, you carry on. It's like, you will not live past 40. It's like, you'll be dead at 40. I'm 35 now, 36 soon. 30th of March, everyone, it's my birthday. Wish me happy birthday for them. But yeah, he said to me, you would not make 40. And I was like, oh, that's great, isn't it? I'm not going to fucking make 40. So yeah. But stopping drugs, guys, is another hard thing. It fucks you up. It fucks your body up. It fucks your brain up. It just fucks everything up. It really does. It's just not worth it. You go so psychotic. You go so delusional. And everybody has got a spirit, right? Let me just tell you now. My spirit left my body. At one point when I was in an ambulance and they were rushing me to hospital, I wasn't in Birmingham. This is a different place. I know I was in Birmingham. Yeah, I was on the outskirts of Birmingham because Birmingham City Hospital, I chose that not a place to go and get treated because of how I was treated. Well, because they neglected me, basically, Birmingham, years ago. But we're not going to talk about that. They're fine with me now. I have a good relationship with Birmingham City Hospital now, so that's all fine. The past is the past. Do you know what I mean? But let's just say back in the day when they neglected me and they didn't give me that care that I deserved, because I had so many different drug overdoses that they just got fed up one day and just turned around and was like, do you know what? Fuck it. Like, we're not gonna do this anymore. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I used to get, back in the day, until I got my solicitors and my legal team involved, I used to get doxxed so much when I lived in the UK, like by people and stuff, and that stopped now. But it happened so much to the point where I literally went to a solicitor and took it to court. The hospital in Birmingham got done big time. They had 7 members of staff that were sacked from basically neglecting me. And I nearly died in a hospital car park bush having a heart attack. Yeah. So obviously it was my fault. I used to go to these gay chems parties, but the amount of drugs that I was given, they just don't give a fuck about you. Gay men will get you high and they will rape you. And that sounds awful, but they will. Excuse me a minute, guys. Who's this Thompson? Absolute twat. Fucking knobhead. Sorry, where was I? Just some dickhead walking right down the road thinking he's hard. Yeah, think you are? Meet me, I'm Satan, cunt. I'll sit with my eyebrows on top of your forehead. Would do. But yeah, where was I? So yeah, drugs, guys. It's not good. Just try your hardest not to touch them. It changes you as a person as well. It fucks you inside up. It fucks with your brain. And once you're fucked with your brain, there is no going back. I still have feelings where, you know, the inside of my nose, I don't have a septum. And I'm never going to get that feeling back again. Like when I breathe, I'll give you an example. So when I'm breathing now, it's like a black hole. That's what drugs will do to you. Look at my nose, right? You ready? My septum's gone. I got kicked in the nose when I was younger by steel toe caps from this bully at school. So he broke my nose basically. My nose got broken. Nobody's nose is ever supposed to do that, but mine does. But yeah, my septum is gone. So always in my nose I feel very like lightheaded sometimes, or, you know. But yeah, I made that life-changing decision, guys. I just had to stop taking drugs because I knew that it was going to kill me. And the way, like what made me stop, like I said, I saw this guy's boyfriend die in his arms in the bathroom from the panic attack. He had a massive panic attack. He was like this. He could not stop doing that. And his boyfriend was like, babe, calm down. Babe, calm down. And he just would not calm down. He K-holed big time and he would not calm down. And he held his boyfriend in his arms like a baby, was cradling him, and he died. By the time the ambulance got there, it was too late. He was died. He was died. He died from, one, the K-hole, because obviously when you take drugs, sometimes you will get yourself that fucked up on drugs, depending on what you take. Yeah, he just completely K-holed and panicked, and that's what killed him. I think if his boyfriend was a bit more calming, he would have got him water. And I did say to his boyfriend, get him water, but his boyfriend was like, no, he doesn't need water. I was like, he does need water. He's fucking having a panic attack. He's going to die if you're not careful. What happened? He died. He needed to get outside near the fresh air. He needed to be out of that bathroom. That bathroom was sweltering. He needed to be outside in the fresh air. If he was my boyfriend, I would have rushed him outside. I would have called 999 50 times. Don't give a fuck. And I would have saved him. I would have done everything in my possible power to save him. But no, what did his high boyfriend do? Just sat there with him. And was like, he doesn't need water. He's just having a panic attack. Awful. And the amount of gay chems parties that I used to go to, and they're all on the outskirts of Birmingham. I wasn't a slut, don't panic, I'm not a slut. I would never be a slag, fuck that. No thanks. Don't need STDs, don't need AIDS. Bit like some gay men on Grind to prostitute themselves and then go to all these different gay chems parties. That's not me. I would not do that. No thank you. I went to this very nice place a few years ago, and it was this gay man's house, and it was like a mansion that was beautiful. I even had a butler, like, greet me at the door, do you know what I mean? It was lovely. Had some champagne, and then we went to like this sauna jacuzzi, and then I will never forget it. About half an hour in, there was these guys having sex, full-blown sex in front of me in the sauna jacuzzi. His boyfriend got too high, and then I had to get involved, and like this guy was like, he's gonna die if he doesn't calm down. And then I tapped his boyfriend and I said, you need to do something. I was like, you need to call an ambulance. He's going to die. And his boyfriend just turned around and went, no, don't worry about him. Oh, he's always like this. And I just thought, oh, really? I thought, really? You're going to allow your boyfriend to be like that in the jacuzzi? He was literally passed out in the jacuzzi. Yeah. Like, he just was like, you know, he went unconscious and then he just started making all these weird sounds. He was like, and he starts shaking as well. And then his boyfriend is like cuddling him as he's sweating. His boyfriend was sweating profusely, bruv, from the drugs that he'd given him. Like, you could see the sweat dripping off him. This was a 6'5" Polish, fit as fuck, as lovely, hung as a horse. That's how I like my men. If you're Polish and you're 6'7" and you want to date me, let me know. And he hung. That's a plus. But yeah, he was 6'7". Yeah, it was. Yeah, let me think. 6'5", sorry. Came to meet me in the taxi. Lovely man. But then, unfortunately, you guessed it, they got into the party scene. We all were having a good time. They wanted to take drugs. They took drugs. And then his boyfriend just got himself into a right state and embarrassed himself in front of the whole room. There was like 50 men that were naked in front of me, sat in this big butler's room. Fucking, sucking, blowjobs all night long. Alcohol, drugs, do you know what I mean? Mental. Absolutely mental. That's why I don't have anything to do with gay men or the gay scene anymore, because it's just vile, bitter and twisted. And it was just a whole, excuse my French, it was just like a fuck fest. You know what I mean? I think there's more to life than sex. Obviously, when I get a boyfriend, I'll be having sex every day. Because I do like sex, not gonna lie. But I like sex to be meaningful. I like sex to be passionate. I like sex is about if you love someone. Do you know what I mean? Sex isn't about where you go to a gay chems party and you take God knows how many fucking drugs and you're at it for days. What's that about? You get high on drugs. I take some coke. But then I'm getting my dick sucked 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. Getting fucking to high heaven, and that's not sex. Well, it's sex, but it's just the fucking greed, isn't it? If you think about it. Yeah, gay men that will arrive at gay chems parties will pay for all the drugs, and then just have this mad fuckathon. Like, do you know what I mean? Madness. Anyways, guys, I'm going now. Thank you so much for watching. That was my experience of drug taking. Do not take drugs, whatever you do. Don't take drugs. It will just make your face go hollow. My face used to become musculoskeletal. I had so much pain as well in my chest. Musculoskeletal pain, there you go. I had costochondritis because my ribs here, I'm going to show you, after all the coke and the MCAT, my ribs used to be very sore. But now that's going. I still do have my rib cage that is like, I don't know why, but it's still there. I want to put some weight on here hopefully one day and that'll all fucking go away. But my body is lovely now. It's a lot better than it used to be. I look after myself. I used to take iron tablets. I used to take vitamin C, vitamin D tablets. Ashwagandha's a good one as well if you suffer from really bad anxiety. That's what fixed me as well. So years after of me doing drugs, I bought about £289 worth of supplements from Holland and Barrett. And I just went on the mad one. I just wanted to repair my nervous system. I wanted to repair my heart. I wanted to repair all the damage that I had caused my body. And it worked, luckily. By the skin of my teeth, it worked. All of this different ashwagandha, all these different magic mushroom remedies of garlic and herbal extract in them that you pay a lot of money for at Holland and Barrett, that does something to the brain signals and calms everything down. It worked. So yeah, don't take drugs. Don't even entertain gay chems parties. And if you see someone that's high or they're at a gay chems party, then call the police. Call the police. Obviously call the ambulance, but then call the police to the person that obviously got that other person high, because they know what they're doing. But yeah, I live to tell another day, guys. But the amount of trauma I went through in hospital when I was screaming the place out because my heart would not stop racing is what this guy was experiencing in the bathroom, who died with his boyfriend in his arms. So just so lucky. It was God that brought me back. I saw white. I saw like the cardiac monitor screen, and it was like 175 beats per minute. And I just remember my heart was like, it was doing that. My heart has gone so fast where my heart is just knackered. It really is. I can't run. Well, I can run, but just choose not to because it causes me excessive problems. It makes, put it this way, if a person was to run, a normal person, they're fine with it. Their heart can deal with that kind of strength. I can't. I can't go to, I went to a luxury spa here in Edinburgh a few years ago, and I just went swimming. Can't even fucking swim to the other end of the fucking swimming pool because I was so unfit. My heart just starts racing instantly. Just went into a massive panic attack. Yeah, don't do drugs.